Execute. Execute on the things that they say they wanted to get done. Not what you want me to get done, my mother wants me to get done, my coach wants me to, but the things that I really feel like if I do these things, I'm going to be successful. Execute on the things that you said you were going to execute on.
So then why don't most people ever find success? Like if it really is, and I know what's hiding in the word execute, but most people do not. And I always tell people only execution matters.
Yeah, that's it.
But how do people get good at that?
So the first thing you got to do is you got to get out of your feelings. Like for me, these are great people who could blow up, like who could be successful, whatever they touch. But something happened that day. You know, you woke up, got into it with your spouse or your kids called with something that was going on, or you were sick. Like there are a group of people that feel like it's okay not to execute because I'm not feeling okay, because today is not a good day, because all the stars didn't line up. And at the end of the day, none of that matters. Like to have a good day is great, but just because you have a good day, you still got to execute. And so I think for most people, they go wrong because they think it's a feeling when execution is a fact.
So a lot of people can live with themselves. That's the first thing. A lot of people can live with themselves, look in the mirror and say, I'm okay with being afraid. I'm okay with going on this easy highway over here. The easy highway has all these fucking signs and shit, directions, how to get somewhere. And you have to first be uncomfortable with how you feel about yourself. With that voice that a lot of us like to run away from, we all have it. We all have that voice that's saying, hey man, you know, you're kind of wimping out right now. You're kind of being a little punk right now. But a lot of us say, okay, that's okay. It's okay to tell these little white lies to ourselves. So we first have to face the real you. The real me is David Goggins. The real me is a guy looking at you right now saying, I don't want to fucking be on this show right now because I used to stutter as a kid. And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid that here in a second, I'm gonna start fucking stammering and stuttering and the whole world's gonna know that I have all these issues. But that's when I see right now, okay, Goggins, you gotta go on this fucking show. That's Goggins. Goggins is saying, okay, David Goggins, you're a punk. Life made you this way. We can't live like this. We can't live in fear. We can't live in judgment. We can't be afraid of what the fuck people right now are looking at me saying about me. We cannot be afraid of that. That's Goggins. Goggins saying, fuck all of you who don't like me, who don't want to, and that person then comes in. But you have to be David Goggins and say, man, I'm afraid of this. I'm fucked up here. Life made me this way here. I stutter. I have these issues with reading and writing, and I'm fat and I'm insecure. You have to face that in that dark room. My book, I talk about it a lot. It was my junior year in high school, and I fell back a lot. I fell back in this fucking hole of life. The second you think that you've overcome it and you climbed Everest, you're on that last hold, and life will say, not today, motherfucker. And it'll push you down. And my junior year in high school, I missed a whole bunch of school, was lying to my mom, had like a 1 point something GPA. I was just jacked up. I mean, I was in one of the worst spots in my life. And my mom was going through a lot of shit too. And she didn't have time to sit back and baby me. And it was me against me. My pants were down to my knees. I was not, whatever was going on, I was in a bad shape. So I went to the bathroom and I had this weird haircut because I wanted attention. I was an attention getter. I went to an all-white school pretty much. Some of the kids liked me, a lot of them didn't like me, whatever. Didn't fucking matter. I was looking for something. So I would dress differently, crazy haircuts, and I went to the mirror and the reflection in it revealed a lot of bad things. A lot of things that I was hiding behind the saggy pants. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror going like, God, dog, dude, you are something else, man. Like you have created a character. I want to be at the cool guy table, and whatever I could do to get attention, I did. And it wasn't me. It wasn't who I was inside, but I was scared for anybody to know who I was inside. So in that accountability mirror, I call it, I got real with myself. And I said, you have a third grade reading level, which is hard to admit when you're a junior in high school that you copied on every single thing you did because of fear they're gonna put me in a special school. We all know what special means. I'm gonna have a title on myself the rest of my life. And being cool, you don't have a title on yourself. So I started cheating. I was dumb. And people say, oh, you know, you have a learning disability. I I had a learning disability, but I realized I was lazy. So I called myself out there. I called myself out every which way possible. I didn't call myself out. I was just honest. I was honest. Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. And it was that day, and a couple of days after that, I just got real with myself. And every day I came home, I called the accountability mirror. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? What am I going to do today? And a lot of it was I stopped sitting with the cool guys. I actually tucked my shirt in and went to school looking like, hey man, this is how I'm going to look. If you don't like it, so be it. I had to really wear this layer of skin. I had to develop a really calloused skin on me to take whatever you're going to call me, you're going to call me. Whatever I'm going to be, I wasn't a geek, but whoever I am, you're going to see me. You're going to see me for who I am, because I need to change who I'm not. And that accountability mirror just became raw. And when I became fat over the years, because I fell back in the hole, I called myself fat, because I was fat. And people don't want to do that. They want to say, oh, don't call yourself fat. Don't call yourself dumb. If you're not real and raw with who the fuck you are, nothing's going to change. And in this nice new world that we live in, we want to hear, you're just a little big. No, man, you might be fat. And it's okay to hear that from yourself and from everybody else. So that's where it started at. And it's raw. It gets ugly sometimes with me in that mirror, but I'm also proud of myself to be able to tell myself that and then fix what's in that mirror.
In the beginning, probably was my father. My father in the beginning pushed me a lot, not a lot, a little bit, to follow my dream. In the beginning, with 7, 8 years, it was my father, because he saw that I had some talent, and he kept pushing me to play not only in the street, but we had a local team in Madeira that they call Andorinha. I don't know how you say in English, Andorinha, não sei como é que se diz essa palavra. I don't know how you say, but now they're gonna think it's a club,
Sure.
a Madeira club that everyone knows if they, Andorinha. I will tell you in English, is the name of the bird.
Yeah.
And I start, to be with teammates, and I start, the rule of football. I start that there. To be honest, I think both have to work in the same time, because talent without work is nothing, and work without talent is nothing too. So I think the both mix up. And of course I have two. I'm not will say that I have more one than the other one, because if you see my whole career for the last 20 years, my level was high, and this is, as you can know, it's really tough. Not only in a football, but in any area. If you are top for 20 years, it's unbelievable. And I do that, and I continue to do that. For me, it's a big achievement, and my biggest motivation is to carry on, to still enjoy, to make people happy, to make my family happy. So for me, I have both talent and work ethic.